Welcome back to Living in Hobe Sound. If you're new here, my name is Jaime. I am a Hobe Sound resident and realtor with Coldwell Banker. And on this channel, we discuss what it's like to live, work, and have fun here in Hobe Sound and the surrounding areas. With the new school year just around the corner, August 11th, I am being asked, what is it like to raise a family here in Hobe Sound? As many of you know, I am a mom here in Hobe Sound. What you might not know is I grew up here in Hobe Sound as well. So I went to Hobe Sound Early Learning Center, my kids went to Hobe Sound Early Learning Center, and I was on the board for a while of the Hobe Sound Learning Center. So I know what it's like to be raised here as well as raise a family here. With school right around the corner, starting right around the corner, I am frequently being asked, what is it like to raise a family here in Hobe Sound? So I thought we'd take a few minutes, talk about the schools, the lifestyle in the community that families might be interested in, and safety, location, proximity, clubs, kids, parks, all those things, right? So let's dive into that. Then we'll take a drive around. I think today we're gonna go from Hobe Sound Elementary to the public beach, because why not, after school, run to the beach, shake off the day, and then start your afternoon routine, right? So we're gonna do that in real time from Hobe Sound Elementary to the beach. Let's talk first about schools. So there's a lot of options, right? Like public school, private school, charter school, homeschool, and a religious school. So lots of options here. There are two public schools here in Hobe Sound. One is Hobe Sound Elementary, which is closest to Bridge Road and off of Gomez. And the second one is Sea Branch Elementary, which is off Sea Branch, US 1, close, like the north side of Hobe Sound. So one's the south side of Hobe Sound and one is the north side of Hobe Sound. Those are the two public schools that we have here in Hobe Sound. Both highly rated, both encourage parents, PTA, after clubs, things like that. They offer extended day, so if you work late, your kid can stay. I think pickup's 5 o'clock is the latest. And so it's great to get involved with the PTA, with SAC, go and help teachers, things like that. So both are fabulous schools. I went to Hobe Sound Elementary, my kids went to Hobe Sound Elementary, highly recommend it. They're both both have sidewalks leading to them, so you can find a neighborhood close by if you want to utilize the sidewalk getting to school. It's great. They both also offer busing and drop-off. The next public school would be Murray Middle School, and that is just outside of Hobe Sound in South Stewart. Murray is a middle school kind of located near Manatee Pocket a little bit, so it's off Cove Road. They have a lot of after school activities like basketball, volleyball, things like that. I remember as a kid there was like a math camp, which I stunk at, but I really wanted to do it so bad. I did do volleyball and basketball. So out west is Southwark High, and that is where I graduated from. Go Bulldogs. And so that is where Hobe Sound would be bussed out to there, or the kids can drive once they're older. They do have a lot of like AP classes, so if your child is advanced, then they do offer that type of curriculum. And they have a lot of sports, an athletic department. They just built a new building. Their gym is fabulous. I wish we had access to all that when I was a kid, but I'm thrilled that our students now have access to it. We have a great program. Actually, Alana is out there right now as you speak with the band, preparing for marching season and helping with the flag and all of that. So thank you, Alana, for doing that. So that is our public schools. So the two elementary schools here in town, the Murray Middle School in South Stewart, and then Southwark High out west in Stewart. If you wanted to go outside of the public school system, you do have options. So K through 12 is offered over at the Pine School. Pine School has a small class, so small class sizes, so it is a lot more one-on-one and interactive, very focused based on each kid, so that you're not feeling like a number. They have a great athletic program there as well, and the curriculum is by far some of the best. And they are right here in Hobe Sound, which is great. So it's K through 12. Once your kid starts, they can graduate there. The super high success rate. I think it's just shy of 100% college rate or something like that I read. It's insanely impressive. So highly recommend considering Pine School for that. If you wanted like a homeschool vibe, just south of us in Jupiter is a homeschool Anderson Academy. That's where my kids went. Harvey Academy is another one, and that's more of a homeschool vibe. So it is definitely one-on-one teaching, and you're more involved with your students. There's a lot more interactive. They're not just sitting in a class and doing that all day. So that's an option as well. If you are looking for more of a religious-based school, Hobe Sound Bible is another school. They go from kindergarten up through college. So depending on where you're at, that might be a really great option. It's a faith-based school. It's right next door to Hobe Sound Elementary and the Early Learning Center, which is the pre-K. So speaking of college, Indian River State College has on campus a charter school called Clark Advanced Learning, and that is where kids go to complete their high school courses and take college courses. So a lot of the kids will graduate with a high school degree and either graduate with a college degree or very close to a college degree. So that is another option. So there's a lot of options, right? Like public school, private school, charter school, homeschool, and a religious school. So lots of options here. We're gonna move on to like the neighborhoods that you might be looking for, right? So we do have a lot of 55 and older communities, which could house a family. I guess, you know, if you started a family later in life, or maybe you're a grandparent, your family lives with you, but we're gonna talk about the general family style neighborhood. There are a lot of neighborhoods near both of the local schools and the private school and Bible College that have sidewalks. So you'll find a lot of neighborhoods nearby all the schools that have sidewalks, speed bumps. Some have like the gates. Generally, you'll find kids outside playing after school or on the weekends, bikes in the front yard, playing street hockey. All those things still happen here in Hobe Sound. It's kind of like the vibe you have here is that small town feel. We still have that here. Like the beach is right here, so you can go to the beach after school and go surfing, go fishing, just build some sandcastles, go for a walk, collect shells, all those things. You have a lot of the neighborhoods will be next to a preserve because we have a lot of preserves here, so you can go hiking, biking, things like that here as well after school. The neighborhoods, some of the neighborhoods stick out like as they're an obvious family-friendly neighborhood. So during Halloween, you'll see Jupiter Narrows, and they go all out for Halloween. You'll see the neighborhood almost shuts down to the point it gets so crowded. You really have a hard time driving through there, but you see the best costumes, the best candies. Some people will have things out for the adults that are walking around, you know, like here's a booze and enjoy your walk with your kid or your grandkids. So it's really a lot of fun in Jupiter Narrows. If you're closest to Hobe Sound Elementary, that's probably the neighborhood that you would go to if you wanted to be around that environment. If you're closer to Seawind, then most likely the neighborhood that would have that environment would be the Oaks, the North Side Oaks. And they generally have like the larger houses and they're still pretty affordable considering how big the houses are, and they're very close to Seawind Elementary. So they're another neighborhood that you'll see a lot of kid-friendly activities happening there. Another thing that parents want to kind of know about is after school, I want to be near the ball field because my kid wants to play Little League or do soccer or tennis, be near the activities, right? So my kid can just walk over to t-ball or walk over to soccer or whatever. Olympia, which is also frequently called Zeus Park, depends who you're talking to, same neighborhood, really close to the baseball fields in Hobe Sound, which is just south of Bridge Road between Dixie Highway and US 1. You'll see baseball fields there. They have basketball courts, tennis courts, pickleball, softball, baseball, soccer, all of those things are over there. Doc Myers has soccer and baseball and tennis. So you've got those options for like after school or for weekend events and things like that. Let's talk about parks, neighborhoods near parks. The typical like playground park, right? So the Oaks has a playground park, Olympia, Zeus Park. They have a brand new playground park that they just redid, which is spectacular, and there's a dog park there, so you can bring your dog there. It's a huge circle, so when it's breezy, you'll see people fly kites. Like I've gone over there and flown kites before, which is a lot of fun. Hobe Heights has their own park there in the center of the community. Oh, the Oaks has a park. Yeah, the Oak has like a playground, so that's kind of fun as well. If your kid is maybe older and they like golfing, golf is another big activity here. We have a dozen golf courses here in Hobe Sound, right? So you'll find on summers, like golf camps will open up at some of these courses because it's summer and a lot of the residents are gone. So they'll open it up for camps. So you've got Lost Lakes, Hobe Sound Golf Club. Sometimes Jupiter Island will hold a camp. Loblolly might participate. So there's a lot of options there. But also if you're a resident, so if you're in the medalist, you can go play a par 3, and that's fun even during the summer when it's hot. Golf at Lost Lake, same thing. There are multiple beaches. They're all free except for the North Beach is a preserve, so you pay, I think it's like $15 for the year or something, or $12. It's not astronomical. You just get a little ticket, keep it in your car. Hobe Sound Beach is free. And they've got the surf camp, which is new. Like I think that's only within the last year it started up, which is very exciting to have a surf camp here. We used to have to drive to Juno Beach or to Stewart Beach. So I'm so excited that we have one here now. I'm like, I wonder if they offer it for adults, because that's like a bucket list thing, is to stand up on a surfboard, right? Now let's talk about safety. So safety is a very interesting topic because a lot of people feel that being in a gated community provides safety. A lot of other people feel that that means it's just a false sense of security, right? So it depends on you. And I would say overall, I've personally not had any issues to speak about here in Hobe Sound in all the years I've lived here. Overall, Hobe Sound is a fairly small community, way smaller than Jupiter or Stewart, insanely smaller than like West Palm, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, right? Boca. Hobe Sound overall is a very small coastal town vibe. So overall, fairly safe. I would say if safety is a concern and you want to know who your neighbors are or what the crime rate is, call the Sheriff's Department, call Martin County Sheriff's Department and ask them what is a neighborhood that has a high rate, like what neighborhoods have the highest crime rate, what are the highest crime rates. Like they're definitely the pros over what I hear. I can tell you what I hear, but I don't know what the stats are or the numbers are. So start there, go there. I know that we have a lot of neighborhoods that are gated, right? So, and a lot of people feel different ways about gated neighborhoods. So that's another one that's your preference. A lot of people feel like it's just a false sense of security. Like there's a gate there, but anyone can really get through the gate. So is it really a secure thing? That's up to you and your preference on how you look at things. So in certain neighborhoods, that might be true. In certain neighborhoods, like I know the medalists, those guards there are licensed to carry. Like they are real officers. They're able to arrest you on the spot. And so I would say certain neighborhoods are probably way more safe than other neighborhoods are. So that's what I would say about that. There's price points for each neighborhood. Hobe Heights, you might find a house in there for $400. Not far from there, you'll find a house, on the water for $2 million. So really the lifestyle and the prices are all over the place depending on what you need and what you're looking for. I'm sure there's an option here for you. As far as like neighborhoods go in Hobe Sound for families, so Eaglewood is 55 and older. So obviously that kind of, you can still live there and have a family. You can be over 55 and have a family, but statistically speaking, that's probably not going to be the area that families are looking in, right? So the two public schools that are located in Hobe Sound. So Hobe Sound Elementary is off of Gomez, really close to Bridge Road. It kind of is on the corner right there. So you've got, the waterfront communities are becoming a lot more family oriented. We're just seeing younger families that love to boat start to come in, where it used to kind of be newly retired. Now we're starting to see the younger families come in and buy the homes on the water. So the Soundings, a lot of those canal streets are coming in. So Mangrove, Royal, Sable, Palm, Coconut, all of those streets, Delafield, Kingsley. You've got Mystic Cove is big. So on Jupiter Narrows is known for their Halloween. Halloween's huge there. You can't even drive at night through there. It's not allowed unless you're trying to get to your house maybe, but otherwise it is shut down. And there are people in every square inch of that place. Seems like it's filled with Halloween decorations. It is so fun. You'll see people set up a bar for like the adults to stop in and get a special treat, and the kids, and the costumes are amazing. So if you love Halloween, I would say Jupiter Narrows, and then if you're close to Hobe Sound Elementary, and a lot of the neighborhoods along Gomez, you'll see kids and families walking or bike riding to the school. Soundings, Governor's Landing, Harbors, Hobe Sound, Jupiter Narrows, Mystic Cove, Bahama, Sandcastle. It's only called Wetside because that is where the water is located. It's not because it floods or anything like that. It's because a lot of those neighborhoods either have access to the water or are on canals on the water. So that's why we call it that. In downtown Hobe Sound, we are not actually a town, but we call it downtown because it's the primary strips for the shops and the restaurants. So Bridge Road is the primary one going east to west, and then Dixie Highway and US 1 are the primary ones going north to south. So Dixie Highway, which is where the train tracks are, and US 1, which is further west. Hobe Sound Elementary is within a second of downtown Hobe Sound, so Olympia, Old Hobe Sound, Jupiter Island. Easy access to the beach, the Intercoastal, and some of the downtown amenities, coffee shops. There's the Hobe Sound Running Club, book club, moms that meet over at this park. There's the after hours yappy hour with the dogs in Olympia, and there's a dog park, lots of churches. If you have a preference for a church, there's multiple churches nearby, and as well as Bridge Road goes right out to 95. So if you're somebody who has to travel a lot for work and you don't want to be away from your family much, or maybe you like work at the hospital, really close proximity to both of those things. So that is what it's like to live near Hobe Sound Elementary. We're gonna go further north to the north side of Hobe Sound, and that is Seawind. Seawind is a strip that was put later on into Hobe Sound, and it's going out west from US 1, and it is the most north strip in Hobe Sound. Then over towards Seawind would be the Oaks, because that's another one that does a lot for the holidays, is the Oaks. The plaza in the very beginning has things from massage, from a bagel place, a great German restaurant, all of that in the front part, like a little pharmacy, boutique pharmacy, things like that. But as you go in, there's gonna be neighborhoods that are gated. The Oaks is the most known for being family friendly. It's big homes that are somewhat affordable, and there's always bikes out, like kids walking. So it is definitely a neighborhood that's known for being family friendly. You've got the preserves, arbors, Lost Lakes Falls, Lost Lakes Doubletree, and then all the way in the back is the retreat. So Seawind Elementary is closer to the retreat. So all the way into the back on the south side of Sea Branch Road is Seawind Elementary. It's the newer school out of the two. And it is set back against the preserve. So back there you'll see a lot of wildlife, so deer, you'll see sometimes hogs, a lot of birds, tons of birds are back there. See turkey, things like that. And it does have sidewalks, so a lot of times you could, get to the school by sidewalk if you wanted. It is a distance, it's not like a short sidewalk trip, but it is an option if you like to be athletic. There's a lot of, as far as lifestyle goes, in a lot of those neighborhoods, you'll find trails, community pools. Back there across the street from Hobe Sound Elementary, or no, not Hobe Sound Elementary, from Seawind is Lost Lake Golf Club, which was a public golf club, is now a private golf club, but it is still one of the most affordable golf clubs in our area for a private club. So that is right across from Seawind Elementary School. So if you and your kids like to golf, that might be a great option for you. They've got a great restaurant, a lot of community events and things like that happen over in that area. So depending on where you want to be in Hobe Sound, the lifestyle that you want to have, do you want to be closer to the beach or closer to golf and nature? Do you want to be on the north side of Hobe Sound, closer to Stewart? Do you want to be on the south side, closer to Cuesta? That might change the area that you choose to look into, but those are the two schools, the two public schools that we have here in Hobe Sound, and then you've got the private schools. Let's talk about aftercare. That's the way more fun part. I'm actually excited to talk about this one because, it's just a lot more fun to talk about. So aftercare, you've got, the schools offer aftercare. There's tons of sports programs and automotive programs and debate and clubs and like all these great activities within the school system. If you are not interested in any of those things or your kids are not interested, or it's over the summer and school's out, other things to consider would be there's lots of sports clubs outside of the school. You've got Hobe Sound Little League, the soccer program. You've got Club Scrub, which is a bike program, like off-trail bike program over in Jonathan Dickinson State Park, which is right there. 16,000 acres to go hike and bike in. Racquetball and tennis and pickleball. There is a tennis club here. There's a ski club here, as well as ample golf, tons of golf. There's summer programs at the golf clubs frequently. So if your kid likes to do golf during summer break, that's a good place to go get taught. There's normally sailing programs, paddleboarding, beach programs. There's Hobe Sound Surf Club for the kids as well. So there's tons to do outside of school for your family. And then I know that for me, we're moving our families here and we're caring about school and the safety and the neighborhood and lifestyle and activity, but we also have to keep in mind that we're investing in a house, in a neighborhood, in a product as well, right? So we're investing into our community when we buy a home here. We want to make sure it's a good investment for you. So knowing what the in and outs are of a neighborhood, like we've discussed, so that your lifestyle is great, but also what is the value of each neighborhood? So some neighborhoods just hold value longer than others. Some neighborhoods you can get a larger house at a more affordable value, and there's a reason why. Or maybe you plan on living here 20 years and you're like, I don't really care about the value because I just want my lifestyle. So just knowing the options and knowing all of the information before making a decision is probably the most important thing you could do. So I think talking with a professional here, like myself or my team or another agent, there's so many great agents here. I'm so impressed with the agents that you have options, in the area. So speaking with them about the neighborhood that best fits them for multiple categories, right? You've got lifestyle, family friendliness, if you're moving here with a family, safety and value. And I would say they'll help you pinpoint exactly what areas to look at, because finding the house is not always the hard part. Finding what area to be in can be the hard part. Finding the house is actually probably the easier part. So if you have any questions, leave them below or reach out to us directly and we're happy to answer them for you. You know, I normally like going out in the field and kind of showing around, but in this one I decided to sit still and give you some information. So now that we've discussed all the things you need to know about living in Hobe Sound and raising your family here, let's take a drive from Hobe Sound Elementary down to the Hobe Sound Beach. I will not speed it up. I'll put the timer on so you see exactly how far it is to get from Hobe Sound Elementary to the Hobe Sound Beach. And that way you can go there after school and just shed the day away. Talk to you soon. Bye.